It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football?
We can hardly wait for the start of this one, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 25.
Just a few blocks down the street from the state capitol in Indiana, it's Lucas Oil Stadium, downtown Indianapolis, the home of the Colts. So good to have you on board with us. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson here in the booth. Greg, in this league, you know it, you lived it. Undergoing a changing of the guard at the quarterback position sometimes can be traumatic, but a lot of times it leads to hope. We've got a couple of teams here with young signal callers looking towards the future.
And you know the old saying, Mike, in the NFL, it is truer than ever. If you have a quarterback, you have a chance. And here we have two teams that feel like they have that quarterback position of the future settled. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some moments where that youth rears its head. But over the long term, both these organizations feel like they have an answer at the most critical position in all of sports.
The kicker, Daniel Carlson, has this one teed up. Off we go from downtown Indianapolis. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. The Colts offense going to take the field here for the first time. They're led by their man at quarterback out of the University of Florida. It's Anthony Richardson.
Mike, when you look around the league, there's just not a lot of quarterbacks that look and can play to the style of Anthony Richardson. He can make every throw on the field. He's big. He can run for power, run with speed. As he continues to iron out some of those flaws from coming out of college, he lost his rookie season to injury. Here in year two, I wouldn't be shocked by year end if he's a household name.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line.
I like the call, using the screen as a drive starter to pick up a chunk play and get this offense into some rhythm. It's clear this offensive play caller anticipated the rush of the defense, and he was able to use it against them.
On first down, it's Richardson. Work in the middle of the field, but that is incomplete.
Timing and trust, critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. From the gun, Richardson. The pressure gets there, and down he goes. A sack.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Out of shotgun, Richardson. He'll look deep for Pittman. That one is batted away. Incomplete. No separation that time. Tightly defended. It brings up 4th down.
I'm not going to sit here, Mike, and throw the guy a parade for ultimately what was an incompletion, but can we just take a second to appreciate the arm strength he was able to show there? I mean, I think that ball is over 60 yards in the air, and I would be surprised if they continue to just air it out and see if they can complete one of those.
And that is good coverage by the punt team as they meet him and bring him down. The Raiders offense set to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a young man who's making a name for himself, their rookie quarterback.
You hear people talk about it all the time, and it's especially true, Mike, for young rookie quarterbacks, is just the speed of the game. They had a lot of success in college. They were probably the best player on their team, but just everything is faster. Everything happens with a little more urgency. The quarterbacks at the young age that can make that transition the quickest, everything else then tends to slow down.
He'll get this out to the left flat. A very nice open field tackle there. He could not get free and gains nothing. try again. It's 2nd and 10. On the ground, here's the first-round pick from April's draft. And he'll work this past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Zaire Franklin that time, there for the tackle. Third down and 9. Now, faking the give, in trouble, and down he goes.
Sacks are drive killers. There is no greater correlation between a defense getting off the field and the ability to rush the quarterback. And when they come on 3rd down, that number just goes up.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Anthony Gould deep for Indy. This fielded inside the 35. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. Set to go now on 1st and 10. First carry now for the former Badger Jonathan Taylor. And that'll be a pickup of 3. They face 2nd down and 7. Richardson operating from the pistol. He's got a receiver. That's Michael Pittman. 10 yards the gain on the pitch and catch. That's good for a Colts first down.
I'd like to see them do a better job here the rest of the game, Mike, just disguising the coverage from the pre-snap look to the post-snap look. And what I mean is, when you have a quarterback at this level, and what they see before the ball's in their hands is the exact same thing they see once they do get the ball, everything is just so much easier for them to process. Change the look, change the coverages, move your safeties. Make the quarterback have to process with the ball in his hand.
Here's a 2nd and 9. Richardson to throw. He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not, and be taken down there.
Really nice start for this defense here early through the first quarter. 2 different players each recording a sack. Offensive line's going to have to get together on the sideline with their coach and identify where's the weakness in our protection, how can we get extra bodies and extra attention, because we still got a long way to go in this one.
He's going to find his running back downfield. And they'll move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
Ball down to the 16-yard line, and it's 1st and 10. Richardson will give it to Taylor. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Zone read, it's a give to Taylor. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. Here's 3rd and 7. Throwing, Richardson. That is caught at the 3. And they're going to have enough to convert here. And it sets up 1st and goal. So we've come to the end of a fairly evenly played opening quarter. What will the second quarter have in store? We'll come back to Indianapolis in a moment. Five yards from the house. They've got it 1st and goal. Richardson going to look to throw. That one, take it in. Touchdown, Colts.
But you think back to their first possession of this game, like it resulted in a punt. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back for possession 2. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So that's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their second possession.
Now the try here for the point after. He gets it to go, and the Colts will take a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. On the return is Dylan Laube. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense about ready to get going on their second possession. They'll be hoping to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 our score as this drive begins with a 1st down. Man in motion here is Tucker. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This one intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Bynum. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
I think you chalk this one up, Mike, to just a rookie mistake. And anytime you have a young signal caller behind center, you're going to have to deal with some of these ups and downs. Every once in a while, they're just not going to see the coverage. They're going to get baited into making a bad throw. That's kind of par for the course. The key is how fast can these rookie quarterbacks turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again.
Here's 1st and 10. Richardson. Got his man at the 6. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indy. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. And that is number 2. Greg, he is off to some kind of start in this one. 2 quarters and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Mike, this is one of those situations where as a defensive coordinator, you've got to give your group an answer, because right now, they don't have one for this guy.
Extra point attempt still to come. He's got it. And the Colts move out on top, 14-0. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Laube now to return it. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Raiders offense ready to take over once again. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0. The score as the offense tries to regroup and get going with 1st and 10. Man in motion here is Tucker. Right away, they'll set up to throw. That's caught. It's the tight end, Brock Bowers. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Second down and 3. Here's carry number 1 for the former Bulldog, Zamir White. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
We've seen this trend throughout the league, Mike. Offensively, everyone wants to have depth at the running back position. Yeah, it's great to have one guy, but if you could have 2 or 3 that can all come in and contribute on the ground, that's the goal, and we're seeing it here.
Going back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. He'll get this to about midfield. Cameron Bynum up from the secondary to make the play. Here's 2nd and 6. From the 50, he'll set up to throw. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass. Get past the 1st down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here. You can draw up all the fancy plays you want, but when the quarterback and the receiver see it through the same set of eyes, it's virtually impossible to stop.
He's got Myers on the completion. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. You only get a 1-yard buffer from the line of scrimmage for these old linemen. That time he strayed a little too far, and it draws the flag. He'll try the right side with White. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4. Second and 11. He'll look to throw. That's a short one, caught by Bowers. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
On play action, he'll... Oh, that's the one thing they couldn't have there, the sack that might take them out of field goal range.
Sometimes you just have to know when the play is over and live to play another down. He has pressure coming right at him, and instead of just throwing the ball away, he tries to escape, he tries to get creative, and he ends up losing a lot more yards than he should have.
Here's A.J. Cole now. The punt for the 2nd time, looking to pin the opponent back deep. And this is going to work out for him. Out of bounds, and they'll mark it inside the 10. Here's Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense. heading back for their next possession. And he's been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers here in the first half. This defense is going to need to find a way to key in on him because he's eating them up right now. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Here's Richardson. Going over the middle and take it in by Pittman. And they're going to get him down right at the 25. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. Off the zone read, this is Richardson. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here till halftime. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Now Richardson. And he's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down. Third and 9. Now Richardson. They'll try to set up the screen here. The screen works for 10 yards and a 1st down.
And that's an important conversion, not only because it keeps their offense on the field, and now they can go down and see if they can steal some late points. But either way, worst case scenario, Mike, if you're the offense here, you want to possess the ball going into halftime. Don't give your opponent a chance to go down and score on you. So big pickup there. Now we'll see if they can turn it into some points.
On 1st and 10, here's Richardson. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
On 2nd down, Richardson. That's the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And they'll get him down after a gain of 5, but that is enough for a 1st down.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need, but really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
Richardson to throw it here on 1st down. And that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman with that one. And that will lead to a 2nd down.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average. And frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
And this one is caught by Pierce. And that'll go for a gain of 7. And it's going to set up 3rd down.
The drag route is certainly not the most complicated route on the route tree, but a really nice job there using the scheme to create separation. He did a really nice job there working across the middle of the field as he made himself open.
From the gun on 3rd down, Richardson. And he's going to have the 1st down. It is a gain of 6. Good conversion on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, Richardson. A throw on the run is complete. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
Well, this is a great example of the old saying, Mike, you never go broke taking a profit. And give credit to this quarterback. I know it's not the big explosive play he was looking for, but getting the ball into the hands of his running back, allow him to pick up some extra yardage after the catch.
The Colts now going to send out their field goal unit. Spotted at the 35, this a 45-yard attempt. His kick will split the uprights. It's good. And the Colts stake themselves to a 17-0 lead.
And that's a really nice boost here before the break. I mean, you work the clock well, you're able to steal some points. The biggest thing is you're able to build a little momentum now going into the locker room at halftime.
Final second now of this first half as this one is away. Here comes the return from a yard or two deep. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play. So we reach halftime in what has been to this point a one-sided game. As we'll send you down to Orlando now, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Mike, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our halftime report. The Colts got a strong first half from their quarterback, Anthony Richardson. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Raiders offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. They trail this one 17-0 now. Really need to find some inspiration, some momentum on this drive as they'll begin here with first down. The third quarter begins with a run. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. Second and 7. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete. Trying to get it to his tight end, Brock Bowers. And it's going to be third down.
Pretty unforgettable performance so far in the first half, Mike, and they're going to try to figure this out here in the second half and try to gain some momentum. Figure out what's going to work, where are our matchups, and let's go try to put a drive together and get some points because so far this has been a struggle, and they just cannot get anything going through the air.
12 yards on that hookup. Good for a Raider first down.
I know, I'm biased. But listen, you can't convince me, Mike, that there's a better option on the field, especially when you got a guy like this, than on third down or critical moments. That's where the ball needs to go. The size, the speed, the matchup problems that he creates. If I was in a critical situation, there is no doubt where I'm going with the ball.
He'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Heck of an effort by this runner, Mike, just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think most backs around the league, that play would have resulted in a loss. But Not this guy. Continued to fight, continued to do everything he could to prevent the loss, but it still stopped for no gain.
And he'll get maybe a yard. That's it. DeForest Buckner brings him down. They need 8 as they come up for third down. Now they'll set up to throw. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down and this quarterback's paying the price for it.
The Raiders send their punt team out. On the return is Gould. And he'll get something there on the return, able to take this back to the 20-yard line. The Colts offense and Anthony Richardson getting ready for their next drive. And we run you through the highlights here. It has been a very big performance from the quarterback position, instrumental in leading and executing, and now trying to finish strong and take his team to the finish line. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. On first down, they'll start with Taylor. Trying to find somewhere to move forward, but nothing going. Tackled for the loss of a yard.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
A second down throw for Richardson. This throw right side, pulled in by Pittman. Got to get it to the 30. Here comes third down. Off the play fake, it's Richardson. Coming open is Pierce. It's on target. And he'll be taken down up past the 40-yard line.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
On first down, it's Richardson. That one complete to Pierce. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
Here's Richardson. Going to keep this himself. And nothing doing on that one. He'll go down behind the line.
The decision whether to keep the ball or to hand it to the back happens so fast. In this case, the quarterback thinks it was a keep read. The defense was there ready to stop him. Tackle for loss.
A pickup there of 19 yards. First down, Indianapolis.
That's good for our Colts. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
They'll work the middle here with Taylor. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
So as we take a look at the box score, Mike, you realize here they got the lead. We're in the second half, but they don't have a lot of rush yards. It's because they use the passing game to score points and establish the lead. Now, how we judge their run game is from here to the end of the game. Can they pile up yards now in the second half and close this game out?
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll stay with Taylor on the ground. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down. They'll go again here with Taylor. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this 3rd quarter. So these two teams take the long walk to the opposite end of the stadium. We've come to the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This has been some kind of march downfield now. Can they pay it off with 6? It's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. Trying to find a crease in there. It's a big pile of bodies, but he is going to come up short.
These edge rushers, they are judged by their sack totals, Mike. They love to rush the passer. But they have responsibilities in the run game as well. Great job here, keeping it to no gain.
Now it's Richardson. He'll keep it. Trying to find a crease in there. It's a big pile of bodies, but he is going to come up short.
A lot of defense's strategy of defending the zone read, Mike, is we want that quarterback to pull the ball. It's one of their few chances throughout the course of the game where they can get their hits on him, and in this case, they're able to hold him to no gain.
From the gun, Richardson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Feels like they needed that sack this entire drive. It feels like the defense was really on their heels. The offense was taking it to them really however they wanted to. So to be able to take a deep breath now, disrupt the rhythm of the drive by getting that sack, that might go a long way now to allow them to get off the field.
The Colts now going to send out their field goal unit. This about as short as you can get. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Colts open it up a bit further. They now lead 20-0.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Laube now to return it. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast, and right now they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got his receiver on the in-cut. He's got it. They get 13 to begin the drive. It's a first down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
These can be tricky situations defensively, right? The game is all but over. Barring something unforeseen, you got this one in the bag, but you still want to finish on a high note. You still want to walk off the field and put an exclamation point on what's pretty much been a dominant performance right from the start.
And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Colts 36-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. That one caught by Tucker. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about, so they got to keep...
And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him. Whitty Hay bursting through to bring him down.
Defense came out in a soft zone, and I think it caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get into the backfield and bring him down.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for...
That's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And the Colts force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27-yard line.
When you find yourself in this situation, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
The Colts offense headed back to take over once more. As we look back at some of the highlights of this one, you'll see a lot of them, Greg, coming from the passing game. They've done a nice job picking the defense apart.
Yeah, and I think that's the right way to say it. It hasn't necessarily been just a bunch of deep shots, a bunch of explosives. It's been more methodical. It's been precise. They've really been all over their execution, and this is about as close to a complete performance as you're going to see from any offense throughout the course of this season.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. They'll start this on the ground. It's Taylor. Nice job finding the seam. Gain of about 9. Just a yard short of that 1st down. So, 2 minutes to play here in the 2nd half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. They go right back to Taylor. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the 1st down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for this. It's Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, ball carrier. The tackle made at the 36-yard line. A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
The Colts about set to punt. And he's on to punt for just the second time in this game. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has really had their way so far, intercepting him twice, forced into a number of bad throws, and generally the D has just made it tough to operate all game long. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. He's got Myers on the completion. Now the Raiders going to use the first of their timeouts, and the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go. An enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. No one open. He'll drop it to his running back. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9. He'll look to throw. And the coverage right there. This ball knocked away. It's incomplete.
Can't exactly put my finger on it, but it just seems like this entire game, like this passing game and this quarterback specifically, they've just been off. And whether it's missing these big shots downfield like he did there or just simple underneath layups, there's just something about him today that doesn't look right. And I think it's a big part of the reason they find themselves trailing here in the 4th quarter.
He'll get about 6 before he's taken down. Here's a 3rd down and 4. In motion is Myers. Off the play fake. He'll look to and this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack. So it's a win for the Colts. And right away you can point to the turnover battle. Always key. Tells the story so often. It did here again today. Their offense didn't turn it over at all. They finished on the plus side with the takeaways. As a result, they're going to come away with the victory. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts, winners here in the Circle City, as we say so long from Indianapolis.